not always universe video until something like that happens. Again, my apologies. But before this episode truly begins, I want to say a huge thank you to the men and women who are overseas, to the men and women that uh, that have fought valiantly in our back home, and for the men and women who unfortunately lost their lives while protecting our country. I just want to say thank you, and you'll be honored. I didn't want to go into this whole video without saying that. So happy Memorial Day to all my fans and subscribers. I hope that you all enjoyed your day. If you have a family member that is in the military right now, just give them a thank you for absolutely no reason at all but to tell them that you still love them and respect them. So, with that out of the way, here is the episode already in process, but to our soldiers, I say thank you so much for serving us, and as always, I hope that you enjoyed the video, and if I have any Army veterans, or just veterans in general, as subscribers, let me know, and I feel honored if you men and women are actually in there. You can tell me what branch that you served and how long that you served, or if you're currently serving. Makes me feel better either way. Also, if I can put a smile on any veteran's face, it's worth it for me. So, thank you guys so much for watching this episode of Rage Universe. It is not sponsored, I just wanted to say thank you so much. And as always, I will see you guys. And as always, enjoy the video. And if in case I forget at the end of this video, I hope to see you guys next time. Happy Memorial Day. Enjoy the video. Gee, I should do something to honor a superhero movie that's coming out recently. What is it? What is it? What superhero movie is coming out pretty soon? It had a blockbuster film a couple years ago. It's a really cool and animated movie. It's coming out this Friday. What film was that again? It's a sequel to something. Oh yeah, I know. The shirt was very misleading. I apologize. But yes, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse is coming out June 2nd, and let me tell you people, I am just as hyped as you guys are. I probably unfortunately won't be able to see it, but then again, I have to say that it's still either way, if you guys were lucky to see it, let me know what you thought about it when it comes Friday. Don't spoil the film for me. I watch a lot of non-spoiler reviews here on YouTube myself, just so I can get interested in film to actually review for this channel. Even if I've already seen the trailer and I'm already interested, it still helps me keep my interest peaked. So, Miles Morales is making his epic debut comeback, and way before he was going to make his epic debut comeback, especially later on in the next Tom Holland film. According to rumors, Miles is supposed to appear in the next Tom Holland film. Makes me happy and very interested to see what they're going to do with the character, and I hope they don't do what they did to Kamala Khan. Oh, nothing against the actress that played Miss Marvel at all, and yes, I heard the news about Miss Marvel, and fuck you, Marvel, for doing that. I tried to avoid it, and it was all over my fucking YouTube page, so fuck you, Marvel, for what you did to Kamala Khan. In case you're wondering, Marvel killed her off. Why? Fuck no, the person with a large fucking database and whatnot. If we could do it to fucking Peter Parker, we can do it to Kamala Khan. I'll send you to your room and give you the finger stick of shame. But anyways, I'm very excited for my audience next movie. The trailer had me excited. Also, I know I haven't done a trailer reaction, but I am so pumped for that movie. But did you know that the creator of this Miles Morales, Brian Michael Bendis, worked on a not so popular TV series to bank off of the success of the early Spider-Man film? It's a very low-budget TV series going off of CG, very much similar to Transformers Beast Wars of all things, and also some other animated properties that I can't think of at the moment right now. I know there's like one with like these like weird purple people that people would probably tell me about. But anyways, it was a not so successful TV series, but it did have a stand in for the Spider-Man universe, especially for Neil Patrick Harris, who voiced the Amazing Spider-Man in Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions, and it is truly a series known only as Greetings, geeks and nerds, and ladies universe, and I'm White and Nerdy, And yes, I know I usually like look off to the distance. My apologies. I just wanted to make sure that I hit where I wanted to correctly, so that's immediately my mistake. Also, just for the record, the series is called the New Animated Series. Why the franchise is referred to it as Spider-Man, I can only assume it's that it is based off of the Spider-Man film, and it is. This is supposed to be in canon to the Spider-Man universe after what happened when Peter gets his spider powers in the series. The series lasted from basically, I would want to believe, only a year, similar to the Flash TV series that I've already reviewed, lasting from, I believe, 2002, when the Spider Man movie was released, until 2003, either that or 2004. Was not a very popular series. In fact, it doesn't even have that many episodes. As far as I also know, too, there's only two volumes of the DVD that exist. The first one, and then this one. We'll be taking a look at Volume 2 just for the hell of it because that's the only thing that I own, and we'll be looking at the three episodes on here, including The Birds of Electro. Now, Electro, I've talked about before, is one of my favorite Spider Man villains, and Bendis took his character origins and made it really different in this world. If you think that Spectacular Spider-Man's origin of Electro was weird, no, it basically and basically the Amazing Spider-Man kind of copied off of that origin. No, 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 this origin is weirder. This origin is weirder. So we'll be taking a look at three episodes in this project: The Party, When Sparks Fly, and Keeping Secrets. Which Keeping Secrets I have a lot more to talk about than The Party and When Sparks Fly. But I just want to point out that this is also the debut appearance again of Spider-Man being voiced by Neil Patrick Harris. Harris, I think, is a really good voice actor for Spider-Man, and I wish that he had more roles aside from this and Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions. But he did not, as far as I know. So, quick recap on the origins of Electro. He was a guy that had the technology where he could manipulate electricity. There were some other origins where he could actually manipulate electricity itself and become like pure power, so to speak, as we saw with Spectacular Spider-Man that I already reviewed. But this time it's a lot weirder. But let's just get into it. Here is Spider-Man, the new animated series, The Party. Party begins with our favorite web-swinging superhero swinging around New York City as we see an advertisement for energy drinks that will come into play later as we see what happened to Mac Dillon. Similar to the Amazing Spider-Man movie, Mac Dillon is captured by some doofuses because he is a nerd and well Jot's kidnapped nerds. Under stress and panic, Mac Dillon takes the car for a little joyride, and of course he's blindfolded and also he can't see, so he's gonna kill some people. Nah, just kidding. Our favorite walk-around superhero's there to try to help him and try to help him save the day as best as he can, but Spider-Man, of course, is also goofing up himself. He continued to goof up by having the car crash into cement, with him needing to pull out Mr. McDillon before he drowned in cement. Also, we get to see these models of Mary Jane, Harry, and Peter. Peter looks okay, but what the hell happened to Mary Jane and Harry Osborn? Okay, I cannot go through this entire review without bringing it up. Yeah, the character models don't look like the characters from the original film at all. Why they turned Mary Jane emo and frickin' Harry Osborn into this basically blonde haired snub, I will never know. The only one that looks passable is Peter Parker. It is believed that he could wear an outfit like this, and also the voice of Neil Patrick Harris does work for this character, I have to say. But one thing that I do like also about the story is that how Brian Michael Bendis tried to take Electro, a character that a lot of people like and hate, but gives him a huge ounce of sympathy. Just like the Amazing Spider-Man 2, in my opinion, Jamie Foxx had played a sympathetic character. He was someone that you could relate to. Here, you actually can relate to this version of Mac Dillon as well because, well, this Mac Dillon is not a lot different than myself, truthfully. Mac Dillon is getting relentlessly bullied, relentlessly picked on, all because he's a nerd. And frankly, he's getting sick and tired of the life that he's living. He's not popular or successful, but he wants to be. He wants the life that was taken away from him. It's just unfortunate that he gets it in the worst way. Things don't get better for Matt Dillon at a party that he's been invited to. This party has him going up to meeting a cute girl, but then be taken backstage, where he gets the worst prank of his life. I'm not even kidding. They take paintball guns and they shoot poor Matt with them. Yes. Embarrassed and humiliated by what happened, Max swears revenge on everybody who picked on him, running away and crying like a pathetic little child. He goes onto a building with a billboard for the energy drink Maximum Shock, throws a rock at it, and then suddenly it's magically transformed into Electro. Yep, he quickly transformed into Electro. I'm not a big fan of the origin, but it's not that surprised me. It's the fact that he actually killed somebody. The episode doesn't sugarcoat it either. He's dead. Max Dillon killed him because he was pissed off at him. And of course, as you'd expect, Spider-Man finishes him. And of course, Spider-Man finishes him off by connecting him to some ground so he can, well, pun intended, ground him and, well, yeah, you already get the gist of it. Ending on a somber note that the same thing could have happened to Peter if it wasn't for Uncle Ben, which he had to think about, which is actually pretty true for the character. Our next episode is When Sparks Fly, which takes us to a few days after the Electro attacked the city, but leaving everything in peace and serenity, at least for now. But Electro goes after a young girl, Sally, the one that didn't pick on him in the last episode when his origin story began. And in fact, Max actually likes Sally. But while doing her homework on a dildo, Sally ends up being visited by a poltergeist, aka Max Dillon, who wants to transform her into what he is. Electro, now looking like an old man, now again reappears, but instead of doing something good, he ends up killing his teacher. Okay, well, he almost ends up killing his teacher. The team ends up finding out that the message that Max left for Sally is left backwards. So if it's played backwards, you can tell what the message actually says. Pretty cool. So Harry and Mary Jane try to help by keeping Max, I guess, preoccupied until, Peter can get there. But fortunately, they don't do too good. This ends up into Peter actually getting help from Mary Jane and Harry respectively, trying to give him an idea of how to get rid of Electro, which I honestly thought was pretty damn awesome. Max gets the Dr. Ock treatment where he's buried into the water and presumably is pronounced dead, while Peter is left to imagine what would have happened to Sally if he continued his treatment. When Sparks Fly is not that good of an episode, I don't even get why it exists truthfully. Is it because we wanted Electro to, have someone that he could depend on? I know that he's alone. I mean, let's face it, there's a lot of people that are alone in the world, but it's still really dumb. It's like Max Dillon is getting this special treatment. Yeah? And this girl is going to be turned into an Electro. Okay, then what? I didn't get that far. It's not a bad episode, but it's not exactly the best on here. The party is pretty much the best, but the next one is pretty damn good too. And of course, we have to go to the episode, I forgot the name of it, Keeping Secrets, which has a pretty interesting change that I'll talk about in just a few minutes. Keeping Secrets begin with a local cat burglar trying to break in and steal some, well, artwork and also some artifacts inside of this museum, I think. So she ends up getting chased to our favorite wall crawler, but to avoid him and avoid capture, she ends up dropping a good old beam while hightailing her out of there for Peter to not get her.
That was humiliating. And this is so not spandex.
So, yeah, Harry ends up meeting a new girl that ends up becoming the girl of his dreams, and off of a bridge jump, no less. It turns out Talon is Harry's new girlfriend. But Peter doesn't know how to feel about a villain being his best friend gal. Even if she got a dynamite body, which, just damn, in my opinion. Because the CG doesn't exactly help her, neither does the booty wiggle. Instead of kidnapping her on a heist, Peter tried to end up talking with her and ends up trying to come to terms with her. But she wants Peter to help him. And throughout majority of this episode, she ends up flirting with Petey. So just a reminder of a certain character that Spider-Man usually hangs around with. Hint, hint. What surprises me is that this is basically Black Cat. This is 110% Felicia Hardy, except instead of Felicia going after Peter, she's going after Harry, which is equally as dangerous, attacking one of those that he loves and cherishes. In a way, Peter does love and cherish Harry as his best friend. But it just doesn't make sense to me why they used the name Talon, like a Talon from Batman, instead of Black Cat. Maybe they couldn't get copyright rules, maybe there was something mixed up in legal limbo or something, but it just doesn't make sense to me that Black Cat, this maniacal little kitty cat, is not her name, even though she is 110% Black Cat. I just don't get what's happening. But the thing that be remembered of the Batman the Animated Series episode, You Scratch My Back, with Nightwing and Catwoman, kinda has a very similar play here. I'm wondering if it was like an inspiration to do this episode. It's a great episode, but it just kind of makes me wonder why they didn't use the name Black Cat. But anyways. Buddy agreed to be polite and helps her out on her heist. But the heist doesn't go as well as you should expect, especially stealing from an art gallery. Two end up bickering about what's right and wrong, who was right, who was wrong on this occasion. Whether Talon is right or wrong, Spider-Man disagrees and said that she should use her talent for something better. It is until the good old NYPD end up showing up, taking shots off at our heroes. In case you're wondering, the series is for kids, nope, 110% not for children. Ellen unfortunately ends up getting shot, but before she ends up getting the headshot delivered to her by a sniper, Spidey ends up saving her, and she ends up saving herself as well. Talon ends up going away, for better or for worse, leaving Harry pretty much defeated and upset that all of this has happened to him. So, episode end. Kinda wish I had both Volume 1 and Volume 2 so I could really give you a better feedback. But if you want my opinion on which one's the best episode of Volume 2, it really would be Keeping Secrets. It's probably the best written episode and the best voice acted episode, bringing alongside one of my favorite voice actresses ever, Susie Carmichael herself, Cree Summers. Now, I almost forgot her name. I apologize to the Queen. But Cree is in this episode, and I believe she voices Talon. I'm not 110% certain because there is no real good voice credit except for Neil Patrick Harris voicing Peter, Lisa something voicing Mary Jane, and Ian Duran, who I talked about in my Godzilla the Animated Series review, voicing Harry. So there's not like like the end of Spectacular Spider-Man that tells you who voiced who. Here, not the same. You just have to really pay attention, I guess. But Keeping Secrets is the best written episode next to The Party. The Party is a good Electro-based origin story, but I do not like how quickly that the origin for Electro happened. Credit to Brian Michael Bendis for writing a very relatable character. And when Sparkfly, yikes. The worst episode on the list, in my opinion. There is really no reason for Electro to have a henchwoman. I guess you could say, if like Joker having Harley. It makes sense once you watch the episode Mad Love why Harley is so obsessed with Joker. Here, there is no reason why Max was obsessed with Sally. We don't even get to know her name when she made a cameo in The Party. It really just doesn't make sense. Overall, I think this series is really underrated, truthfully, and I really wish that it would have existed more, but it was trying to bank off of the popularity of the Spider-Man trilogy, which, yeah, I can understand it's not really worth the bang for your buck. The Spider-Man trilogy is already pretty good in its own right, two different people. So let me know what you thought about Spider-Man, the new animated series, if you checked it out yet. I know that there had been some YouTubers that talked about it already. But anyways, I've been with Universe, I've been waiting nerdy, keep eking on. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me at Twitter with a link in the description down below. And check out Spider-Man, the new animated series, and be sure to check out Miles Morales' new movie, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. I'm hyped as hell for it. Are you guys too? And also, again, fuck you, Marvel, for killing Ms. Marvel. I will never forgive you for this. So anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. I'm Lee Universe, and I'll see you next time. Keep geeking on.